How y'all doing? This is Hunt 919 Truth Sports coming to you with another segment. I'm coming to you with part 3, of course, of a 3-part series entitled Coach Prime, Why the Dress. And this is part 3. If you've come upon part 3 first, please go back and look at part 1 and part 2 and leave a comment. So this can be an open conversation. Again, I did not criticize. I was just asking why our players or entertainers or here mostly athletes in my segment as to what these dresses, why they dressing zesty, and in some cases just downright dressing looks like within women's clothing. So now I want to get to the star of the show, which is Coach Prime. I'm using Coach Prime because he's the he's the center of attention right now with his team, with the Colorado Buffs and what he's doing, and he did wear a dress. So I want to get right into it. So I want to ask a question. As a great athlete in basketball, football, and track, who played at a major university, as a man who excelled in pro football and pro baseball, who also has a rap album that he signed with, I think was Busted Records, but he also did some work with Death Row. I think they helped him with a project. One of the top black record companies ever to produce music. As a man who's leading 3 strong black men, 3 smart, strong black men, all college, either graduated college or in college. And more importantly, as a man of faith who's deep into his faith with Christ, and who's been that way for a while. Why would he be asked to wear a dress and a wig, sing a Madonna song like a virgin? And why is he asked to even not only wear the dress, he poured it up in the front, just to go the extra mile, I guess. Why would he agree to that? Again, as a man of faith and a man who leads a not just his sons, but he also leads a mostly or predominantly black football team. And of course, a lot of kids look up to him. I looked up to him basically his whole life because he's excelled in sports. So why would he be asked to wear a dress? Why would he agree to wear a dress? Sing a Madonna song like a virgin? I just don't understand it. I'm not saying that I can't learn it, why it's being done, but that's why I'm asking why. And maybe I'll learn. Somebody leave something either in the comments, or somebody may contact me and let me know this is why it's done. So that's kind of confusing to me. It always has been. I know when I first saw it years ago, I couldn't really wrap my mind around it. But now that I'm older, and of course it's happening a lot more, I think I know as to why it's being done. And if you look at part 1, I think I kind of break that down pretty well. And for all of you people who's like, because a lot of you all look at him as an entertainer, you don't look at him as a real person because you see him on TV. You don't really see him in real life, unless you go to a game. So let me break it down to you this way. Let me ask you a question. Let me paint this picture, especially for you Southern guys, especially for you guys who are from the South, and who looked up to your dads and your grandfathers, etc., etc. Because we really look at Deion, Coach Sanders as a celebrity, but at the end of the day, he's a real person. So let me get back to this. So especially you Southern guys, this is really nationwide, but just imagine you Southern guys, we're taught not to even cry growing up, but we definitely not taught to kiss a man. The only time I kissed my father was in the hospital when he was about to leave us, and I was overwhelmed, and I kissed him then, and I kissed him in his casket. But let me ask you a question to you men, young men, old men, and especially you Southern men. I'm from the state of North Carolina. If you think it's okay for these people or these guys to wear what they're wearing, which is fine, it's definitely their right. But let me ask you this: what if you came home one day and your father, who you looked up to, your tough father who raised you, or even your grandfather who raised you, what if he walked in with the dress on one day? What would you say to them? Would it bother you? And if it did, would you voice it? And would it confuse you? It's a real question I'm asking, because as I've watched Coach Prime Shaquille O'Neal and all these other people. I'm just wondering what's going through their minds or through their loved ones' minds when this happens. Now let's just say I reach a certain level and I'm asked to do it. I'm sure some of you all are going to say that. Would I do it? I mean, I guess it's easy for me to say now because I'm not in that situation, but I think, and I'm pretty much 100% sure that I'm going to say no. Charleston White, he says a lot of crazy things, but he said something that made sense to me. He said, if I can get up to making $5 million and don't have to do anything, I'm happy with that. If I get offered more than that, let's say somebody's offering me $50 million, but I gotta do things that I don't want to do, I'll take that $5 million and be happy. And that's what type of person or type of man I am. I would take the lesser amount to keep my dignity and go about my life and take care of my family and do what I gotta do for them. If I gotta go up and above that and to do things that morally I'm not with or that I don't want to do, I would keep my $5 million and I would tell whoever offers it, you can keep the $50 million. That's just how I'm built. But I really want you to think about it. If your dad, put yourself, your dad, or your granddad in some of those clothes, or especially in the dress. How would you handle that? And would that affect you? Would that affect your decision making down the line? Would that make it okay for you to so-called sell your soul, as they call it nowadays? I'm really curious to know how you will handle that. And Coach Prime, even though yes, is clearly he's won a dress, I still support him. I still want him to be successful, and I'm not judging him. I just thought it was a great segment to talk about. Because on this channel, I want to talk more than sports sometimes. This is a real life question that I'm asking. And I'm going to support Coach Prime just as much as I always have this year, as I have been the last couple of years that he's been on the collegiate level coaching football. So that was a 3-part series that I came up with. Again, it's entitled Coach Prime, Why the Dress, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Please check them all out. You can comment, you can subscribe, etc. And I'm just curious to know how everyone feels, because this is something that I thought about for a while before I put it together. And I really wanted to talk about it because it's definitely happening. And I think in part 2, I gave a huge or big list of other players who seem to have taken that choice or the opportunity to wear women's clothing. And that's what it is. So I appreciate your time. I look forward to coming to you with more segments. This has been Hunt 919, Truth Sports. Ride with me.